Yanis Vandermeer, and in today's video we're going to build on the 4 phases of a real estate investment deal which we discussed in the previous video. We're going to be looking at phase 1, property search, and discuss the 2 components that make up this phase. The first component is the drivers of a real estate cycle, and that is what we'll cover in this video. And the next component, the real estate strategies, we will be discussing in subsequent videos. Not considering the real estate investment cycle when selecting an investment strategy creates frustration, you don't gain traction, and it's really just a waste of your time and your team's time. And this is a lesson I learned firsthand. When I started out, I was looking for buy, rent and hold properties in a market that was extremely hot. You would see multiple condition-free offers on a property and listings selling for way over asking price. Not knowing any better, I forged ahead trying to find these properties. And it was during this time, attending a networking event, that I heard Don Campbell talk about the real estate cycle. This was a really big aha moment for me. After the networking event, I went home and I started reading up about the real estate investment cycle. And the big takeaway for me was that the strategy that I was looking to deploy in this market did not work given the position of the city within the real estate investment cycle. To really understand the real estate investment cycle, we need to go back to basics and we need to look at the demand and the supply. And in the real estate investment cycle context, demand is the number of people looking for homes and supply is the number of homes available to those people. The cycle is the mere variance of this relationship between demand and supply over time. And as this relationship between supply and demand changes over time, we get 4 distinct phases of the real estate cycle. These 4 phases are as follows. Phase 1 is recovery, followed by phase 2, expansion. Phase 3 is hypersupply, and phase 4 is recession. The bottom of the graph represents time, and the vertical axis represents demand. So if we start in phase 1, called recovery, we start with a very low demand, low rents, and a high vacancy. And as we progress through time, the demand slowly starts creeping up, and the vacancy starts decreasing. Also, during the recovery phase, there's little to no new construction. As soon as we start entering into phase 2, expansion, with declining vacancies, we'll start to see an increase in new construction. And then we get to a point where there's a balance between supply and demand. And that's our equilibrium point. You'll get the lowest vacancies, highest prices, and the highest rents. After this, demand starts tapering down and we start seeing an increase in vacancy. And this is mainly due to the fact that a whole bunch of new construction is coming online. So we get a disconnect between the demand and the supply, being in favor of real estate investors and homeowners when it comes to price. And then as time progresses, we start moving into the recession, where we see an increase in vacancy rates and no more new completions hitting the market. Now that we know the 4 phases of a real estate investment cycle, let's take a closer look at why the demand changes in a specific city or town. It's good and important to understand the 4 phases, but as soon as you start getting an idea of the leading indicators that will show you why the demand is going to increase, or maybe why the demand is going to start to decrease, it'll give you a lot more confidence in your real estate investment decisions. And that brings us to the drivers of a real estate cycle. If we start at the bottom left, we start with GDP growth. And in layman's terms, this is only representing an increase in production for the existing companies, or maybe there's more companies moving to a specific city or town. With more companies moving into a city, there's going to be pressure on jobs. So we're going to see the jobs grow. And in order to fill these jobs, we'll need people. So the population will also start to grow. With more people moving into an area, we're going to see an increase in rental demand, seeing as there's more people that are looking for a place to stay. With an increase on rental demand, we're going to start seeing a decrease in vacancies. So all that means is there's less listings on Craigslist or less listings on the listing platforms. With an increase in rental demand, a decrease in vacancies, we're going to start seeing the rents slowly increase. And after a while, we're going to start to see a property purchase demand, meaning a lot more people want to buy real estate. And with a lot more people wanting to buy, we're going to slowly see the real estate price increase. This diagram depicts how a real estate cycle would increase, so the demand will increase. However, the same fundamentals apply when the market starts to decrease. There will be a change in jobs. Jobs will be lost, resulting in lesser people needed for that specific area. With less people wanting to live in a place, we're going to see a decrease in the rental demand. We're going to see an increase in vacancies, so more places are available to rent or to buy. We're going to see decreased in rents because landlords are going to try and rent their places to make sure that they have an income as opposed to no income. And then slowly but surely, you're going to see the property purchase demand decrease. Lesser and lesser people wanting to buy property. And then finally, you're going to see the rental price decreasing. Combining the 4 phases of a real estate cycle as well as the drivers will allow you to pinpoint the exact towns and cities that are best suited for your strategies. If you find these videos helpful and they add value to your real estate investment journey, subscribe to my channel by clicking the link below. And if you want to receive weekly updates, please click the bell notification. See you in the next video.